I'd like to introduce Rick from Egan's Law Firm. Rick helps create trust and legal entities that wealthy parents use to protect their wealth and benefit their children. He also builds charitable foundations that help the founders have the right infrastructure to raise money, spread the word, and breathe life into their passion. Also, what Rick is going to talk about today is, if you have elderly parents and if they go into a nursing home, how do they do that and protect their assets without having to have their net worth go down to zero? So Rick, I know you have some amazing stories. I'd love to hear your experience and what these solutions could be.
One of the things that I have to deal with on an ongoing basis is the fact that people believe they are immortal and nothing is going to happen to them. It's all going to happen to everyone else, but not to them.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it happens to them and they aren't situated to take advantage of the benefits that are out there for them. And that's where I can step in and try to help them. Generally, if you are a recipient of Medicare or Medicaid, there is what's called a look-back period of 5 years. So any transfers of property that you make from yourself to any other entity within the past 5 years is going to be counted as available assets or countable assets in your estate. And when you go into assisted living or any sort of Medicare, Medicaid funded care of any sort, you're going to have to pony up those assets unless they're protected. I recently had a case where a couple had been married for over 50 years. He had a good pension. He had some good assets. She also had a pension, and she had to go into a nursing home. And of course, that is a very, very wrenching situation for a couple that's been together for all those years. And all of a sudden, he's living at home and she's living someplace else. And I got a call from their daughter, who's a grown woman, and she wanted help with the situation, wanted to know what could they do to try to protect both mom's assets and dad's assets from being taken completely by Medicare. And what I was able to do is sit down and explain to them that the system counts both assets and income. And there are limits on how much you can have in the way of assets and how much you can have in the way of income. Income can go into what's called a Miller Trust, and that can be protected. But assets, unfortunately, cannot be. And what I was able to do is to work something out with them where, because the mother had enough money to last probably for 5 years, we could immediately shelter everything else into a transfer of the assets to the children. And in that way, the mother could go on being treated during the next 5 years. And when those 5 years were over and the look-back period was complete, all the assets would be in the children's names and they would be protected and there for the use of the mother. Mother is not that old, so 5 years out, certainly not going to put her, in an advanced age situation. And as a result, we were able to protect the assets, and the income all goes into a Miller Trust. Miller Trust is used to take care of the mother during that period of time, and it was a win-win. So I was very pleased by that, and I think the family was as well.
Wow, well, thank you for that insight. That's a very important topic. My family personally went through the same thing, where my mother, going back a number of years ago, had to sell her home and all her assets, and so to get into a nursing home. So I think this is very valuable information. If people need to get a hold of you, where would be the best place for them to reach you, Rick?
Go to my website, which is www.aginslawfirm, AGINS lawfirm.com, or call me at 480-401-2791. 2660.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. You've heard it from a top authority in this field. He's been at this for many years. So if you have any need whatsoever for estate planning, protecting assets, any of these most important things, reach out to Rick and he'll take great care of you. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.